Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, it's Grace chatting, and I just wanted to say a few words to all the new people who have joined us in the Rebuild Your Life group. It's a difficult time when people come to join the group. It usually means that they have come out of or are coming out of a long-term relationship, which mostly they had hoped was going to be a lifetime relationship. So I just wanted to give you all the backdrop, the story of the Phoenix, that as you, those of you who are in the group will see that the symbol of our group is the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a mythological bird, mostly, attributed to Greek mythology, but, lots of different places around the world and different ethnic groups have their version of the phoenix. And the thing about the phoenix is it is a symbol of death and rebirth. The story of the bird is that the phoenix was an extremely powerful bird, and it lived for 500 years, or so the story goes, very powerfully. And then it would spontaneously combust into a huge inferno of flames and would go down in flames. And then when the burning had burnt out of the ashes would come a new phoenix rising from the ashes. And I chose that symbol for this group mainly because coming out of a long-term marriage and rebuilding your life, it does feel a bit like a death and a rebirth. And it does feel like a rising from the ashes of your old life. And it's kind of going into that transition. Everything that you knew before has gone, and what's coming is so uncertain, and you don't know how things are going to go. And so you're neither in the past or the future, you're kind of somewhere in between. Now, one of the things that people can tend to do, there's some who have left and some who are staying, and I'm not looking to influence people one way or the other. I do know if you look at some of the videos in my YouTube channel, a lot of people who stay in very unhappy marriages for a long time, they some people you'll see make comments there, and like they're 70-year-olds and they're feeling too old and they've become ill in the situation that they're in, and they are too old or frail to move and start making that life for themselves. So you do have to think about how long you're going to stay in the situation if it's not improving. So one of the things people do is they tend to avoid the pain and the difficulty and the uncertainty and everything upside down, chaos of ending one phase of life to embark on a whole new unknown. But even in the avoidance, there still is a death for many people. Some people do manage to make a success of it, but mostly people don't. So moving through the transition, many people go into another avoidance in that they go looking for a replacement, and they set about looking for another relationship, which usually doesn't work because they're not aware that you have to recover from one relationship and the identity that you had in that, and discover who you actually are before moving into another relationship with somebody else, because it doesn't work, it doesn't fit. So you know, the avoidance of taking time with the discomfort, with the chaos, and having a focus on yourself and not being preoccupied with your ex or a replacement, but actually focusing on recovering yourself. That's what's called recovery. It's recovering yourself, rediscovering the split off and lost aspects of your personality, who you were. Now, for many of you watching this, you got into lifetime relationships when you were quite young, as I did, and you didn't actually have an identity. And you get into the relationship thinking that being somebody's wife or husband will give you an identity and you'll be that person, but you still never find yourself. So if that relationship is broken down, you need to go back. It's like losing your car keys. Go back to where the last time you had them, and rediscover. So it's an important part of this recovery and rebuilding your life journey is to rediscover yourself, to recover yourself, to find out what parts of you you want to you know, reactivate. But also, many of us find that there are unlived aspects of ourselves, that because we got married, we had children, and we got taken up with that whole life. And, you know, if you did have an alcoholic partner or the like, it absorbs your whole life and your whole thinking. And actually, you don't have time for anything else. So this is a time to look and look at who would I have been if I hadn't been so taken up with that. For me, I realized that I was capable of a whole lot more, and I went back into education and did you know, did degrees in professional training and things, and became the person I actually was meant to be. But I had to take the time out of relationships to do that, and I focused on house, home, kids, and myself mostly. So yeah, you need to take the time to focus on your relationship with yourself, to support and encourage yourself. It's up to you whether you go and get a replacement, but you can waste a lot of time doing that. When you recover and rediscover and reinvent yourself, who you are will choose somebody entirely different to who you are when you haven't done that recovery work. So I would encourage you to focus on yourself, and, you know, don't recycle relationships that are that an undeveloped you gets into. You know, your choosing node needs to be adjusted. Your mindset needs to be adjusted. You actually need to grow yourself up. This is a time of huge growth for you if you decide to commit to your own personal development during this phase. So, and the phoenix rising from the ashes kind of represents that. And so welcome to all of you, lots of you who have joined the group recently, and you know, I'm glad for you that you've joined. I'm not glad that you're having to go through this, but there is life on the other side of it, providing you don't get into recycling the same old unworkable relationship over and over with different people. Get your relationship with you sorted out, and the rest is easy because you'll attract a new and different kind of a partner. So that's all I want to say. Welcome, introduce yourself to the group, and yeah, I wish you a very happy recovery. So bye for now. Bye.